friend Lori is taking a course with Sereno Training this weekend, and she texted me yesterday and said, I do really enjoy their methods. Of course, it goes contrary to a lot of other things that we've learned. And then I, of course, text back. I find that most trainers aren't consistent with one another, and that's okay. I like to take away what I like best from each of them. So, considering that, let's talk about stance. Hey guys, it's Kelly here from Armed and Feminine, and stance is one of those fundamentals that they talk about when you're a beginner shooter. And probably like you, like me, when I was a newbie, what you were taught was that this is your isosceles stance and you need to look like a perfect triangle. Well, the perfect triangle never really worked for me. I'm not really sure. I sort of tried to do that to please the trainers or the instructors, but it isn't necessarily just the only correct way. If you're shooting for marksmanship, that's one thing, but if we're talking defensive kinds of shooting, which is what I practice mostly, you're not always going to have the opportunity to get into a perfect isosceles stance, and something that, my friend Michelle always says is, look, I can shoot standing on a brick. We shoot from a kneeling position. We shoot from canting out from behind cover. So it really doesn't matter. Even the really cool gal who, my body doesn't move exactly like it used to, she shoots from dancer pose. So stance really isn't necessarily super fundamental. As long as your body is aligned with your target and you have a really good sight alignment and a great trigger press, that's going to give you the consistency in the shooting that you're going to need. So I had one trainer put me in a really aggressive stance. Now, mind you, I'm almost 6 foot tall, and I was like, really? You want me to be this far away? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, let's do it. And it worked. I'm like, awesome. So let's think about going from behind cover, right? I'm certainly not in an isosceles position, and I'm just going to cant out. So as long as my body is aligned with my target, does it matter that my feet aren't in a perfect triangle? Just like Michelle had said, if I'm up on a brick, and I wish I had a brick right now, but that's not gonna matter. No. Or the gal who does yoga, I used to be able to do dancer pose. In fact, let's just do tree instead. I can do tree better than that. Maybe I can't. Well, even so, if I'm losing my balance, I'm still aligned with my target and I have a great sight alignment and good press, it doesn't matter. I didn't have any stance while I'm moving. Or I could be running up a hill, running from somebody. If I'm running, and I probably will, from a bad guy chasing me to a hillside, I'm going to be in a really awkward position anyway, where I have bad footing, still acquire and fire. My stance didn't matter. So what we learned from this little experiment is that stance really isn't as important as people might make it out to be. As long as your upper body and arms are extended and pointed directly at your threat, that's going to be the majority of what you need to do, not necessarily what your feet are doing. So that's going to change based on your physical makeup or some physical limitations or the situation that you're in, however the circumstances may dictate. Like I had to be on a hill 25 yards away, completely off balance. But as long as I was oriented directly toward the threat, that's what matters. So you can see what works for you. I had one of the best lines ever from one instructor, which he said, we're going to show you a way, not the way. And I think that's really what it's all about, is just see what works best for you. As long as you can maintain accuracy and be confident and be consistent in your shooting, that's what you need to do. I'm Kelly from Armed and Feminine. Remember, use my code ARMFEM for a discount at opticsplanet.com. And remember, it's your life. Protect it. Tree works. Tree works just fine.